And now we are going to try a more complex question. Generate 5 keywords describing this image: people, travel, fun, nature, adventure. Okay, so we will start with the installation part. As always, I will leave a link to the install file, the instruction file, along with the code. It will be at the video description, but as for now, as you can see, the phases are downloading the Ollama application and install it on your local machine. It can work on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. As you can see here, this is the link for download. You should click the download button and install the application. So let's start with this phase. Afterwards, we will download the models, and then we will create a conda environment and do some coding to display this magic of image recognition using a text prompt. So first of all, let's start with the download. Let's copy the URL, go to our browser, go to this Ollama website, and as you can see here, we can click the download, and these are the operation system. I'm using for now Windows for this tutorial, so I will click the download for Windows, and this will take a few minutes, so we will stop here and then continue with the installation. So the download is finished, and let's run the application, the installation file, sorry. Okay. Install. So basically it's a straightforward process. Probably will take a few more seconds. Great. So as you can see, we are getting a PowerShell command prompt, and now let's continue to the next step. So after downloading the model, it will be stored on this location. Okay, in Windows this is the location, on Linux that is the location, and on macOS this is the location. However, if you would like to change the location, there is another instruction website. I will leave a link here, and let's open this link, and as you can see here, there is instructions for Windows and for Linux as well, how to change the location of the weights. The basic concept is that you need to define a new environment variable. This is specific on Windows, and this environment variable would be the new location for the weights. Basically, all the weights will be stored in folder named Ollama models. So I've already done that. I prefer that everything will be stored on my D drive, my D temp model drive, instead of the default drive. So I've already done it. If you would like to change it, these are the instructions. So let's go back to the Ollama website, and as I mentioned earlier, we would like to download this model. So this is the command. We have to copy this command to the PowerShell prompt. So let's go to the PowerShell prompt. This is the Windows PowerShell, and let's paste it. And as you can see now, it starts downloading the information. You can see the pace, it's about 10 megabytes per second, and this is the progress bar. So as I can see here, it will take about 10 minutes to download the weights file. It will be stored, as I mentioned earlier. I changed the location, so it will be stored in my specific location, the temp models, Ollama models, and you can see it's already created 2 subfolders and everything is being downloaded to this location. So I will stop the recording now and we will continue after the download will be finished. So as you can see here, all the download has finished and everything was stored here in Ollama models in these subfolders. So these are the models that are going to be used in the coding, in the process of the image recognition coding. So we finished with PowerShell. Let's close it and let's go back to our instruction file. And the next step would be creating a Conda environment. So let's open a command prompt using anaconda prompt. And as you can see now, the current anaconda environment is base, and we would like to create a new one for the Ollama. So conda create, as you can see, this is the command and it's based on 3.11, and let's write the command conda create -n for name, and let's name it Ollama. Let's call it OL, and it will be based on Python 3.11. And let's run the command. It will take about a few seconds to create this environment. Let's continue and activate this new environment. Conda activate OL. Great. As you can see here, this is now our current environment. Next, we have to install the Ollama Python library. So if you would like to get the same results, I recommend that you would install the same version. I'm installing z.4.7. This is the last version of Ollama for these days. So let's install it. And let's paste it. Great, the process is finished. Now we can exit the anaconda command prompt. So next we have to change here in the VS Code, we have to change the conda environment to the new one. So we should click Ctrl Shift and P and select interpreter, and you have to look for the OL. Here it is. Okay, so now we are ready to start some Python coding. So first of all, as you can see, as part of this folder we have 2 images. This would be our first image. As you can see, it's a person holding a parrot. And the second one is 4 people traveling in the desert. Great, so these would be our 2 images. And let's start with create a new Python file. Let's name it image recognition with lava.py. So basically we will load our model, the lava model, and then we will start to chat with those 2 images and ask questions about the content of these images. You will see what we are going to do. I think it's like a magic. So let's start with import OLLaVA. Of course, don't forget to use the right conda environment. As I mentioned earlier, you should click Ctrl Shift and P choose select interpreter, and these are all the content environment that exist in my environment, in my local machine, and the existing one, the one that we are using now, is named OL, the one that we have just created. Great, let's continue. Now let's define the path for those both images. So image path 1, this would be the first image. Let's go to the parrot image and click here, copy relative path, and we will paste it here. Since I'm using Windows environment, prefer to change the direction of the slashes. Then let's copy and paste it, and the next image will be named image path 2, and the name of this image, as you saw earlier, is named rahaf.jpg. So these are the two images. Now let's start. Result, so this variable will contain the result, equal Ollama, and we will this would be our class, and we will run a function named chat, since we are going to chat with the image. The first argument for this function is named model, and our model, the one that we download, named LLaVA 13b. So this would be the model parameter. Next is the message. The messages. This is very important parameter. Here we are going to send our image parameter and the prompt that we are going to ask our model. So messages equal, and we will put inside, first of all, role user. Next, it will be content, and we will ask the model describe this image. A very simple prompt. And the last one will be sending our image. So it will be images and the path for our image, which is image path 1. I think that's it. And of course, let's print the result. This will be the first part, and let's run it and see the result. Great, as you can see, here is the result. This is the name of the model. Let's look for the result text. It starts here in the message, and inside there are several arguments, and we are looking here for the content. As you can see in the image, there is an older gentleman wearing a red fez hat. Let's look at the image. A red fez hat. Great. This is a red hat with a blue shirt. It's a blue shirt. He has a beard. Great. And a mustache, and appears to be smiling to the camera while holding a colorful palette in his right arm. I think it's left arm, but it's still amazing. So let's grab only the content. So let's go back to our code, and now let's define result text, and this time it will be result, and we will result, and we will take the message. It's not messages, it's a message, and inside the message we are taking the content. That's it. Result, message and content. Now, instead of print the result, we will print the result text, and let's also print it will be convenient when we are going to print more results that comes from our model. So let's run it again. And now, as you can see, we have only the text. Depicts an older man standing on a street with building in the background. He is wearing traditional Middle Eastern hat, which appears to be a fez, and has a full beard. The man is holding a colorful bird that looks like a parrot. Okay, it's a different result, but still it's a true one. The bird is brightly colored with shades of red, yellow, green, and blue on its body. Right, it's speaking about the parrot. Very nice. So now let's try a different prompt, and now let's try it on the second image. So now let's try another image and different prompt. So we will copy the same, I think it will be the same structure, and but we will change it to image path number 2. And now let's try a more detailed question. So we are going to ask a specific question about the image number 2, the one that has 4 people traveling in the desert. So let's, for example, ask, what is the color of the shirt of the woman in the center? Once again, let's look at the image. As you can see, it's a red shirt. So let's go back to our code, and once again we will print the result. And let's also add the question, so we will remember what did we ask. So here we're going to print the question, let's also, in the previous image, also print the question. Wait, I have an error here, I forgot to close it. Right. Wait, let's run it. So this was the first question. We are waiting for the second one. Okay, what is the color of the shirt of the woman in the center? The woman in the center is wearing a pink shirt. Pink shirt. Okay, I think it's good enough. Now let's try another prompt. I will copy and paste it here. And now we are going to try a more complex question. So let's try this one. Generate 5 keywords describing this image. And let's also copy the question here so we can see it. And let's run it. So we are expecting to see 5 keywords about the image in the desert with the 4 people. Here it is. Generate 5 keywords describing this image: people, travel, fun, nature, adventure. Very nice. Now let's try another one. Again, I will copy, and let's go back to our first image, the man with the parrot, this one, and let's ask him about this text. Let's ask what is written here. So let's go back here. First of all, we have to change to image number 1. And now let's generate a prompt. What is written on the sign behind the man? Let's copy the text. What? Copy the text. That's it. Very nice. It's an amazing model that has the ability to explain and describe images, and we can chat with the model about the image. Okay, what is written on the sign behind the man? The sign behind the man reads US Polo. Wow, amazing. This could be misspelling or a name of a store, but it's not clear without additional context. I think it's a great result. US Polo. Let's go back to the image. It's a US Polo. Wow. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. More videos will be uploaded soon. Bye bye.